Hello guys, my name is Larry. Let me welcome you to my channel today. I appreciate you taking the time to stop in here and view this little old video. And if we share anything that's helpful to you, make sure you hit the like, subscribe button. And we'll send you notifications on the next video or something related similar to this one right here. Now today's topic is, we're going to go over what happened to me on my first CNP exam. I've got 3 of them to complete. I finished one today. Let me go into details as to what happened. Well, to start off, the VA decided to schedule me with a company called OptumServe. Now there's LHI or LH1, whatever they call it also, but they decided to schedule me with OptumServe, and I am in South Texas. So they decided for some ungodly reason to send me to Corpus Christi, Texas, which is about 155 miles from here. And now keep in mind that they will pay you mileage, which is 41 cents per mile, as long as you turn in the paperwork. That comes in a packet that they'll send you through FedEx. And if you want to get your money back, you got to send that in. Well, anyhow, they decided to send me to that first CNP exam, and it's a hearing exam in Corpus, and enjoyed the drive. And I was a little concerned, a little scared, a little nervous about how this was going to turn out. Now, I must also say that the VA, or let me back up a little bit. I filed, I put on record intent to file back in November the 1st, or intent to file. Let me clear that up. November the 1st. Now, at that time, you have to open your claim up. Now, you may have a different claim, but I have 3 different ones on mine. I have hearing loss, tinnitus, and migraines. Now, test CNP exam today was nothing but for hearing loss and tinnitus. Now, again, 155 miles away from home here, traveled there, and got into the office. Was greeted very nicely and fairly by a gentleman that checked me in. He said, "Well, you're a little bit early." I said, "Yes, sir, I am, 20 minutes. He said, "Let me notify the lady that's giving you this CNP exam." I said, "Okay, no problem." 5 minutes later, she came out. She said, "Do you mind taking the test early?" I said, "No, not at all. I'll take the test whenever you're ready." She said, "That'll give us a little more time to check you a little bit more in depth." So I don't know if that was a plus or negative thing happening there. But either way, I think the results were fine as they came out. Now, she did crank up some small talk from the minute I left the lobby to the minute I went into the examination room where the booth was at. Now, they do quite a few different ways of testing at this facility. I'd never been to it before. Normally, they just put a plug in this ear and they turn it on, and they put a plug in this ear and they turn it on, and then they'll put, you know, a thing on the back of your neck back here and they check it. I'm not sure what all this is called, but they check it there. And that's pretty much a basic outside of a set of muffs that you just mash a button down every time you hear a sound or you throw your hand up. Well, the first 2 hearing tests I took, which was back in November, let's see, the 27th, I think, is when I filed the claim. They scheduled me for 1 hearing test right away from the VA clinic. Then a week and a half later, they sent me back to the same facility for a 2nd hearing test. And then this is the 3rd hearing test that the CNP examiner gave me today. So I took 3 hearing tests in a matter of 3 weeks. So back to the point of the hearing test in Corpus. The lady brought me into the room. She sat me down. She said, "You're going to need to remove your cap," and I did. Showed her my old bald head, of course. And then she says, "What did you do in the military?" And I said, "Ma'am, it should be in my records, but I was on an aircraft carrier and I was a gunner's mate technician." She immediately went to the section in her mind that says, "What hand do you shoot with?" I said, "Ma'am, I shoot both ways, left hand or right hand." "What is your normal, left or right-handed?" I said, "I'm right-handed." She said, "Okay." And then she'll ask you, "What did you do when you got out of the military?" "Well, I was a salesman, and I was a mechanic, and then I became self-employed for 20 years, online sales, car parts." She said, "Okay." And she doesn't go into any detail on this stuff. She just wants to know, I guess, if it matches up to what they already know. So keep your hat on straight, tell them the truth, don't BS them around, and probably get through this pretty easily. She said, "Did you have a pre-existing hearing loss?" I said, "Pre-existing to what?" She said, "Pre-existing to you joining the military." I said, "No, ma'am, I did not." "Do you have any records to prove that?" I said, "No, ma'am, I do not." However, I'm sure y'all gave me some kind of test before I went into the military. She let that sit there for a while. She didn't say anything else. She said, okay, we're going to start doing your test. Now, she put me in the booth and I had a little clicker there. And she tested them with the beep sound on each side, beep sound on each side, beep sound on each side. You know, she'll go through maybe 20 signals on this side, 20 signals on this side. And then they put this little paddle thing on the back of your neck back here, I guess, on that nerve that runs down the back of your skull, down to your shoulders. And she says, just sit there and it's going to automatically read what it should read. And the test continues. And then she gets to a part where she says, I want you to repeat the words that we're saying. It's going to be a manner saying certain words in a sentence. And like, repeat the house after me. So you say house, or you say repeat the house after me. And I am not good with such a bad hearing loss that I have, that it's very difficult for me to understand words. If it says twitch, I might say which. I don't really, it's hard for me to distinguish certain tones in a letter and a name, or it's just hard for me to decipher between two or three, different words that are similar. So she'll give me, or she gave me approximately, I'm going to say 50 words per each side. And I'm not sure how I did, because she really doesn't give you the results. Now, I must say, and I must back up and say that as soon as you walk in a room, I had a little notebook with a couple of hearing tests and some other paperwork in there that I thought I might need for the examination. The first thing she did ask me, and I should have said this at the beginning, but I failed to, was, do you have any paperwork for me? I said, well, I've got 2 prior hearing tests. She said, well, I don't have the only last hearing test I have is back in 2013. I'm wrong, 2016. I said, well, I had some previously to that, but they didn't show up in my medical records, and these were done at the Naval Air Station in Corpus Christi, Texas, about the time they gave me my first set of hearing aids. So there was a discrepancy, and this is where keeping your paperwork is very, very important. If you have any service-connected disabilities and you have any paperwork that you better keep it, even if it's an outside test from an outside doctor, because a lot of times these records, these examples, or these tests that you take, the results may not get in your VA file. And had I known this when I first went through this hearing loss problem in 2001, I would have made sure that I kept every record that I could get my fingers on. Every hearing test that I went to, I got copies of it. However, I only had copies of 3 of the hearing tests out of the 6 that I took. And that would have made my case a lot stronger had I had all those records. I relied on the VA system to keep the records for me like they should. But if it's an outside test performed at an outside facility, sometimes those records may not make it into your medical history under the blue button at va.gov or at your local VA facility that's treating you. You can go to the record department, but I did that, and I didn't find anything else. And I did know that I had a hearing test done prior to that, but they did not give me any copies of that. So it's not, put it this way, it's very likely that some of your medical records may not show up that you've been previously treated for. So from this point forward, if you're watching this video, keep every medical record, every little piece of paper on every visit that you got, keep it in a file at your home in a safe place. Now, back to the video about the CMP examiner. I honestly expected to have a pretty bullheaded examiner. Now, the young lady, I don't know her name, that treated me or tested me, I think was pretty fair overall. She did not try to trick me in any form or fashion. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd have to give her a 7.5. I think she did her job the fairest possible way she could. Was I treated with fairness? Yes, I do. Did she respect me? Yes, she did. Did I step over the line? No. Did she step over the line? I don't think so. Guys, so don't always give these CMP examiners a bad run. There's probably a few of them out there that are really tough on you. And that's the one that I'd like to stay away from. But as far as the examiner that I had today taking my hearing test with the tinnitus issue, I thought she gave me the benefit of the doubt and was pretty fair to me. Now, will I know anything soon? Probably not. It'll probably take a week or 2 before it's uploaded, and then I'll go to va.gov and I'll look at my records and I'll find a copy of this audiogram or this hearing test and get the results back and see how she really rated me. She did state at the end, I said, well, how well did I perform on the test? She says, it's comparable to the previous 2 tests you took. However, you do have a big hearing loss. So that put a little positive faith into my mind, and I'm hoping with the good Lord above that I'm treated fairly in the end by the VA, the person at the VA rating expert or VA rater who makes the final decision on the rest of my life, where I'm going to go with this hearing disability and the other problems I have. So guys, I probably rambled on enough, but again, this was my first CNP exam scheduled by the VA. It was a hearing exam with tinnitus, and I felt it was a pretty good exam. So if you want to know the results, stick around. Once I get them and they're uploaded to the va.gov and I get a copy of them, I'll go over a little more detail with you on what happened, how they rated me, and then I'm going to be taking another CNP exam here in the next couple of weeks. And once I get those results back, I'll share them with you on a video live here also. So make sure you hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe. That way this video will get out there and reach a few people out there that might need it. You know, we're just a mom and pop channel. It's just me and a wife, and we shoot our videos ourselves. As you can see, it's nothing professional. But we might be able to share some information that might help you if you're watching this video. It might help your friend, your buddy, your wife, your cousin, your nephew, your niece, your mom and daddy. Who knows? It might help somebody, but it will not get out there and help them unless you hit the like, subscribe, and leave us some comments down below, and it gets shared more. YouTube doesn't really help us small channels much. So it's up to you to help us, if you will. Thumbs up, like, subscribe. Let's get this video out there where it reaches other people that are interested and have the same issues. We thank you again for watching this video. God bless you and have a good evening. Thank you.